Welcome everyone to episode 2 of the Angry Black Atheist podcast. I am Rakeem here today with you. Today we have our co-hosts, Dasha.
Hey.
JJ.
Hello.
And from the road, Holly.
Hello.
Well, let's start out with the hottest news we have right now. So, guys, Donald Trump just can't handle the heat, can he? I mean,
it's the small hands.
The small hands and what that implies. So, I mean, for the people who don't know, there was supposed to be a Trump rally in Chicago over the weekend, and there was a counter protest by people who, are tired of his bullshit, and it got called off, and he's been bitching about it ever since.
He didn't have enough money to pay off everyone.
Like,
don't you know Bernie supporters can't be bought?
We don't care about money. Bunch of communists.
He would have had to pay off for the entirety of Chicago. Like, what did he think was going to happen?
I mean, he would try, but I mean, too many black people in Chicago.
The thing that's killing me is all of his freedom of speech comments, and Ben Carson too. And they're all like, "Oh yeah, inhibiting my freedom of speech." I just want to beat these motherfuckers with the Constitution and point out that the government did not stop them. Freedom of speech protects you from the government.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't stop you from getting hit in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't.
Well, it does, because your freedom ends at the tip of someone else's nose.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, your freedom stops when other people's rights begin. But he called off his own event. It's not like someone was like, "Oh, you need to shut it down." He was scared of the black people and shut that shit down.
He was afraid.
Black people really are intimidating,
Oh yeah, no, black people are intimidating. I'm afraid of black people, and I'm black. I look in the mirror and get scared every day.
I'm surprised he was scared because he has such a good relationship with the blacks.
The blacks. Anybody refers to them as the blacks has never had a good relationship with us.
He has that one black friend, Ben Carson.
Oh, sorry. Uncle Ruckus, you mean?
Well, Ben Carson is in it for the money. He didn't care about winning the election to begin with. When he started leading, he went and did a book tour.
He's in it because he loves the white man and wants to keep him happy.
Did you realize that, Donald Trump has a book that just came out, too? He did this in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
He had a book came out and he ran for president, and no one gave him any attention because why the fuck would Donald Trump be president? And he did it again this time, but for some reason people paid attention.
Because
people are angry.
Yeah, God bless President Trump, I guess.
Oh, God.
I blame social media.
Social media? I don't blame social media because he's not winning due to social media. Because social media is the opposite.
I feel like in the 80s we didn't have enough ignorant people coming together, and now that we have social media, they can all meet on some form of format.
I think
they can all be stupid on Facebook together.
I just think it's media in general.
That just keeps snowballing more and more, and here we are today.
Yeah, I think it's media and technology in general. I mean, people are so much more able to communicate and say and relate stupid shit.
Yeah, because without social media, we don't have Bernie Sanders' campaign, so...
Yeah.
Ups and his downs, man. Ups and his downs. I mean, you got to think... I always tell people this. Donald Trump is a reality TV personality at this point, and reality TV is key toward the... I'm sorry.
Lowest common denominator?
Exactly. The dumbest people they can find.
Oh, my God. Jersey Shore's got to be in the cabinet, isn't it?
Yeah. Secretary of State Kardashian.
I kind of hate the whole dumb people like Trump thing, because despite our opinions, there are some smart people who like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Because I really I think that buys into the whole atheist leftist elitism thing.
I guess we shouldn't say dumb. I guess it would be more easily manipulated. But I mean, because a lot of smart people, a lot of smart people are easily manipulated.
How about we just go misunderstood individuals?
Actually, smarter people are easier to manipulate because they think they're too smart to be manipulated.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yep.
So what do we say here?
Catchphrase for.
We need to get to an average level of intelligence. And the problem is, like, there's no real way to tell how smart you are. So, like, we probably all think we're smart, but there's no way to actually know if we are.
It's like measuring dick size. No one really knows until you whip it out, and then it's all relative. I mean, we just had a whole debate around dick size for president. So
I think we sort of need to prepare for like
The
November because at this point I'm convinced it's going to be Bernie versus Trump because Bernie won Kansas and Kansas has predicted the Democratic nomination for the past 50 years.
oh my gosh.
I would do a happy dance if it was Bernie against Trump.
Yeah, like I'm full of not pop culture. I'm full of like fun trivia like that. So, I mean, I'm feeling good about my man Sanders.
My man.
There's only one more southern state left.
Like, I mean, you know, I love the South, and I want to pretend that my Democratic vote matters, but, like, it doesn't. Like, I'm kind of, I don't know. He just needs to win states, man.
Yeah.
Hey, in Mississippi, he only got 16%. If he fell below 15, he wouldn't get any delegates. So our votes did matter a little bit.
I contributed.
It probably would have been a lot better. Here's the thing with Mississippi. Mississippi is still very much out of the loop on a lot of things. A lot of people don't have a lot of information. You have a population that's 48%, almost like 48% African American, who they don't, as far as Bernie's concerned, they don't know who he is. They've never heard of him. They know Hillary Clinton because of Bill Clinton. And, I mean, there's been years of propaganda to get black people to like the Clinton family. So, of course, that vote was going to go to her. So, I'm happy that he got as much as a percentage of the vote that he did. That means someone is paying attention. But I'm, of course, saddened by, I mean, them going with Hillary Clinton over the man who marched with Martin Luther King, just because they really just know who Hillary Clinton is. Pure and simple. That's one of the most disturbing things about Mississippi for me.
Well, they don't really have access in some areas to actually look up facts and stuff. They don't have access to the internet in some areas. So
yeah, like Mississippi is like kept in the dark about a lot of stuff. The people of Mississippi are kept in the dark about a lot of stuff because it's just the way it is. I mean, Mississippi is reluctant to change, and these things there needs to be change in to get the information that people need. So with this election on Tuesday here, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Well, it's because of the extreme high levels of poverty in the black community in Mississippi.
Well, I mean, Mississippi in general. I mean.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but with the fact that I mean, most of the black people in Mississippi are in poverty. Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
And it makes their main source of information being corporate media, who desperately doesn't want Bernie to win.
Yeah. But I work with videos and internet sales. That's generally my job every day, and I find more people are willing to buy video just to watch TV shows, but will not buy internet to look up facts or either research or even use it to watch videos. So, yeah. I mean
on a day-to-day life, the information, we value it, but not everyone else does. Because entertainment can be seen as more valuable if you're working, 70 hours a week, you don't want to spend your time looking at political facts. You just want to watch something relaxing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, that may be. I mean, that's true, but I mean, even you still kind of get those political facts on the sideline, even through the relaxing stuff. You would get little hints or something, wouldn't you think?
I mean, if you're watching you're not if you choose to watch say MTV, this will sound awful. I don't know what poor people watch on TV because I don't own TV.
Me either.
Oh, look at the hipsters! Look at the hipsters that don't watch TV.
No,
I'm joking.
I just don't own a TV. I don't.
I don't
So,
own
like,
one either.
if you're watching
There they go again. Look at 'em.
a non-network channel, if you're watching like something that's not ABC, NBC, or whatever, you're not going to pick up extra things like
That is true.
MTV, Comedy Central, like whatever people
Comedy
watch.
Central,
these days.
however, I mean,
Like,
you
they're
do
not-
have the political
not,
shows
like-
on Comedy Central that do give a lot of information. I mean, the Daily Show.
But do you think that sort of impoverished person is going to be watching the Daily Show?
I
Because
wish.
it's sort of still the like college students and stuff.
That's true.
Well, and people. So I mean, it's hard to for me in particular. It's hard for me to understand. Like, I try to be sympathetic to their lack of information, but like it's hard for me to even understand where they're coming from because like my life is just so different.
Right. It's.
And I mean that's I don't know what that says about me.
No, it's
But-
privilege. What you just described is privilege. Like, you
Yeah.
have a privilege of a certain lifestyle. I mean, we're poor, but we're privileged in the fact that we live in a college town. We've had the chance to go to college. We've had access to the amenities in a college town, which you're going to get internet. You're going to have a little more time, a little more flexibility to get information and digest it and use it. I mean,
My cousin and I had a weird argument on Facebook the other day. She posted something that said breaking news: President Obama skipping Nancy Reagan's funeral to go to entertainment festival.
mhm.
Which, I mean, technically is true. I mean, he's going to South by Southwest. He's the keynote speaker.
It's a great reason, though.
Um,
South by Southwest, great festival.
I posted
It was
that
also
picture
set up.
like showing like, oh, all these presidents didn't go to these first ladies because first ladies go to first ladies' funerals. And she and I, like, she got very angry with me, and she's like, I wasn't looking at the past. I'm still frustrated. I was like, it's okay to not like that presidents don't go. It's just not okay to not like it just because it's Obama.
Right.
And she tore me a new one. I mean, she attempted to. I have no new ones to tear. But she,
All the holes
was just-
still intact.
yeah, no. I'm mesh. And she's like, oh, I don't have time to fact check. I've got 2 kids. I don't care about the past. I don't comment on your stuff.
Don't post something that you're angry about without looking at all the facts. Like,
But it's like, why? But why? Like, I always fact check because, like, I have the time and stuff. But it's like, it's so easy to see how people get manipulated by those things because they honestly don't think to fact
Yeah,
check.
the
If it's on
average
Usually
there,
it takes
why
like 2
would-
seconds.
yeah, but the average person is not going to fact check. That's like, I see it 1,000 times. People, like she said, post just random things. Like, somebody posted that I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was a picture of protesters, of like college age protesters, and it said and it showed a picture of like the founding fathers, and it said these guys fought for our freedom and rights, and these people just whine about whine about their taxes being. Oh,
They want free stuff.
yeah, whine about wanting free stuff, and I had to sit down and explain that literally why the founding fathers started the American Revolution, because they were being overtaxed. They didn't want to pay extra money for their goods. Literally, they wanted free stuff. Like, that's what their oppression was. That's what they were doing, and they fought a revolution over it. But you're saying these people who are out protesting now are whining about getting free stuff. You're just uninformed about history, and that's something that should have really been just taught in history class. But it's kind of scanned. It's really scanned over the reasons for the American Revolution, of course. But
I don't think it's
'Cause-
scandal. I mean,
Well,
I learned that in all my
America-
history class. I just actually paid attention.
well,
And that's
see,
the thing. There's no incentive to pay attention in school.
well, they also just kind of run through like history is always just a crash course in history. It's never anything in depth unless you go to college and major in history. You know what I'm saying? Like, or take some very centered classes.
Yeah, because my entire history education has been like what I got in high school. But like I paid attention a lot, but again, it's super baseline. And I'm really well versed in American religious history only because those are the history classes I've taken. So like I'm real good at that, but I have very targeted knowledge.
Right. That's exactly it. It's just strange. It's not strange, but I find it sad, especially being a historian in that case. Like, what do you do when people just the knowledge is not being put out there in a manner that's accessible to everyone, and you get in a point in society where most everyone, they just really don't care about having the information because they hadn't gotten it before. And why do they need it now? I had a friend that was talking, that I was discussing with the really almost push against intellectualism, like getting information. People just don't, like, our society's gotten to a weird point where though people who have more, not have more information, because that's kind of funny, a weird thing to say, but people that have access to information and are willing to use it are looked at as kind of bad.
Oh yeah, my family treats me like I'm an elitist because I'm the only one that's gone to college. One of their insults they throw at me is like, oh well, you may be so smart, but you don't understand this. Particularly around the time when they found out that I had left the faith. So to them that's an easy insult, but it doesn't hurt me. It just makes me confused.
Right.
Like they were also proud I was smart when I was younger, and now that I'm an adult and I'm using my knowledge, I guess they were surprised that the knowledge I gained didn't point me in the same path they took.
Right. I mean, I hear that all the time from people that are family members and friends going, "Oh boy, you just too smart."
Oh, I love the excuse. You don't know
There's
how
no
the
such
world
thing.
works.
Yeah,
You haven't lived out in the world long enough to know how it works.
I actually had a friend tell me one time that I had too much book learning, and that I didn't know how the world worked. And this was like earlier this year. And I was like, dude, I've been nearly homeless. I done had 18,000 jobs. I've been poor, scraping to survive, helping to take care of kids, and helping to take care of my family and taking care of my dying mother. Please don't tell me that I don't know how the world works just because I have had the opportunity to actually go learn something. And that's another problem that people think. They think that intellectual, like scholarly education means you don't have life experience. Because, like you were saying,
in some cases it's true. I have no life experience.
Well,
I can. I pay
you're
bills.
21,
but...
Holly. Like,
yeah, that's not a matter of not being or being educated causing lack of life experience. That's just the fact that you're 21 and haven't had it yet.
How old is everyone else?
JJ's 58. Samantha's 42.
I am not.
I am not.
Okay.
I just turned 34 on Tuesday.
Oh, you're like a real grown-up.
No, I'm not. Don't swear at me like that.
Dasher's 27. She's about to be 28.
Oh, I am a baby. Oh.
You like how I didn't mention how old I am?
Oh, he's 26.
I know how old.
Quiet, you.
He's 26?
Yes.
Yeah. And I am a child with a drinking license. Like, I am a senior in college, and I drank a bottle of wine on Friday because I had one.
We drink in the middle of the week because that's the only day our jobs would allow us all to drink.
We drink in the middle of the day because we have to.
I have 2 jobs. They're just like not like adult jobs. Like, I'm a TA and I'm the opinion editor for the DM, but like I don't do other things. I do homework. I write my thesis.
I
don't know how the real world
I
works.
just got fired from a cookie
College
shop.
kids home.
Life is real.
I sell cable and
Like,
internet all day.
I trap on weekends.
I never say this because like I'm not actually a mean person. I just wish I could be. Like, next time, like, one of my cousins or someone tells me, it's like, oh, you don't know how the real world works. Like, well, maybe not, but at least I know you're a fucking bitch. But, like, I can't say that because that's mean.
Applause.
And I try not to be that person.
kind of akin to my attitude on Facebook. If somebody else shared something and I have to comment, I try and be very polite.
When?
But when they comment on my thing, no, when they comment on my things, Rakeem, which are the ones you probably see, I don't pull punches. I'm not nice. It's my post. I can do what I want.
Oh, see, like on Facebook, the only time I'm ever mean is if something is shared exclusively with me. So if they come onto my wall or I go onto their wall, I try to be nice. But my uncle keeps sharing, like, he keeps exclusively sharing with me all these posts about Bernie Sanders, and I've shared them with Rakeem, like, via Messenger.
Yeah, she spread the anger to me. Thank you.
Usually when somebody offends me with something on Facebook, I just go to that little tab, see less of them, and just move on.
Or she'll tell me and have me fight them.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm basically a pissed off mercenary.
The only time I ever comment is if it's someone like my aunt has recently been trying to like prove that she's really tolerant, but then she'll post like a picture of a Quran on fire, and it's like, like.
I don't think you know what tolerant means.
Oh, you're getting so close, but you're so far.
It's like the Bible is like to Muslims, the Quran is more sacred than the Bible is to Christians because they believe the Quran is literally the word of God. And like Christians acknowledge that people wrote the Bible generally, like some don't. So it's like I hate you. I don't hate you because I don't hate people. I don't have the emotional energy to dedicate to hate you, but I kind of do. Like a little.
There's this feeling that's like hate, but it's not hate. It's just It's like constipation.
I think you guys are describing disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disappointment.
That's a word.
That's a word for it.
Oh, I appreciate you.
It's like I'm so disappointed in you.
Because that's like the worst thing your parent could ever say to you. Like, not that I don't love you. It's just, I'm disappointed in you. It's worse. It's always worse.
I'm good.
I would say that depends on the parent.
Yeah.
If my stepfather was disappointed in me, I'd feel proud.
I've never had a parent tell me they were disappointed with me because I am like perfect. Not really, but like they still be like, oh, so I've never gotten the disappointed by.
Well, I'm also pretty perfect, so.
Compared to my siblings, I've been great.
Yeah, see, her. Wait a second. I don't like this person. Moving on.
Put your foot in your mouth there, didn't you, Rakeem?
Quiet you. But anyway, good Lord. For those of you who don't know, she just insulted me because I'm one of her siblings. For all the listeners out there, we're related somewhat.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, people are kind of ridiculous with you. It's hard, especially with family members and really close friends, to see them do that type of stuff. And you go, I love you so much.
Stop it.
But please, stop it. Because you're hurting me by making me want to smack you so hard in the face. Yeah, good Lord. I think we may have lost Holly. She's having some reception problems.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we lost you for a second.
She was just listening to you whine about your siblings.
Yeah, I was like being respectful. I know that's a new concept, but I was trying it out.
Fuck that. We don't do that here.
Yeah, Rakeem doesn't know anything about big respect.
Exactly. I tried it. It pissed me off for years. That's where I am right now. I probably have a tumor from being respectful so many years.
See, I'm respectful, and then at the same time, I'm vengeful. So I'll hold stuff in, and then when you least expect it, I'll strike.
See, okay, my problem with being respectful, it became when I became more non-traditional in thinking and things like that. When I was being respectful, the people I used to be respectful to stopped being respectful to me because I didn't think like them anymore. So that didn't have a very nice effect on me because I used to get like just basically jumped on, and people can attest to this. I used to just get attacked and I would just shy away and not say anything. It's like, I'm being respectful. I don't want to escalate this any further, and then I just be like hurt and shit and fuck that. I don't like that anymore. I would be respectful.
I think the
if you
problem
respect
is
me.
People take dissent as disrespect when it isn't. That's the problem I had with my I think some of you know this. My hometown got they got a complaint from the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and I wrote a little article about it for the DM, and then the Freedom from Religion Foundation picked it up. They gave me an award and everything for one of the worst pieces of writing I've ever written. But so everyone, when the people in the town found it, they were really divided. Because half of them were like, oh, this is Lori's daughter. We don't want to hurt Lori. The other half were like, oh, this is the bitch that turned in the cross, even though I wasn't. I just wrote about it. I'm a vulture. And it's just so interesting because a bunch of people were saying, we should, be respectful and pray for her. But that said, she should, not write things that hurt people's feelings and respect other people's opinions. Like, I respect your opinion by it.
Hey, Holly, you're cutting out. Yeah, we can't hear you, Holly. You're cutting out. I think the point of what she was saying, if no one caught that, was people very often take dissent as disrespectful, and I think that even goes tie it back around to what we first started talking about with protests. Anytime someone disagrees, especially with someone that's popular or the government or whatever, anything that's happening in the mainstream, it's seen as disrespectful. Like, look at these disrespectful young thugs out here destroying the world that we live in because they don't agree with it.
Well, they seem to equate respect with deference.
True.
But you also have to keep in mind, for everybody's entitled to their opinion. The only thing that we're all forgetting is to be respectful of your own opinion. Other people you have to be respectful of other people's opinion. You may disagree with it as much as you want, but if you want them to respect your opinion, you gotta at some point respect theirs.
And see, that's the problem. That's the human ideal to respect people's opinions. But when people, here's the thing: there's a difference between an opinion and a staunch belief. When people disagree about each other's opinions, everybody's entitled to their opinion. When people disagree about other people's opinion, it's usually not bad. Because an opinion can be changed, an opinion can be debated against, and can be argued against. But when people have a steadfast belief in something, and they believe that fact to be an absolute truth, they will not respect a word that comes out of your mouth.
That being said, I think I lost the respect of a coworker because I told her that I was agnostic and that I thought the Bible was a nice outline to live your life by, but it contradicted itself so much that I couldn't believe it as a true word of God.
Exactly. You probably lost all respect from her because your personal opinion, that's not even belief, because you're agnostic. You're pretty open to things, but your opinion completely contradicts her belief, and she's not going to handle that.
She couldn't stop herself but saying, "I don't think it contradicts yourself, but go on."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of obvious that it contradicts itself. I can show you where, but
yeah,
you're not going to listen.
As an amateur religion scholar,
oh, she's back, everyone.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Welcome back.
Yeah,
I could hear y'all the whole time. It just
we're keeping it in, guys. It stays in the podcast.
This is why Holly wants to everyone go to Rakeem's house next week.
See, I'm so smart. I'm a giver. No,
And she's the baby here.
If someone ever, I am the baby. Yay. If anyone ever tells you the Bible doesn't contradict themselves, get them to read 1st and 2nd Chronicles and compare it to 1st and 2nd Kings. Because those two books tell the same exact story, but they change it because the chronicler came later and he needed things to fit his worldview better. So some kings that were evil had to be unsuccessful, they had to die, they had to not live as long. And some kings that were good, that had bad things happen to them, they had to rewrite it so they either became evil or good things happened. So, I mean, that's the easiest. No one will do it because Chronicles is really boring, but
the whole Bible's really boring.
I mean, you don't.
No, it's not.
No, it's really not. I mean, it's like Game of Thrones, really.
The stories are entertaining. The writing is awful. I really hate having to read the Bible.
It's great in Hebrew.
If only I spoke Hebrew. I read Hebrew. I suppose speaking it's not
like, I think it would
relevant.
be a great live-action television series, like Kings and Prophets. Hint, hint.
Shut up, Dasha.
Well, they did the Bible as a TV show, but then they made Satan look like Obama, and it didn't do so well.
That was offensive. Barack, what are you doing to Jesus?
It's like in like a pedophile van. It's like, hey, come get some of this sin.
Sin. By the way,
everybody likes sin. Sin is fun.
I know it's got to be about Easter time because there are a lot of movies popping up. You got the Young Messiah out right now about young Jesus, like Jesus as a kid in theaters. I want to see that. I really want to see it.
What's their source material?
I hope it's the infancy gospel.
No, like there's a million stories of young Jesus.
Yeah, I'm hoping the infancy gospel of, I think it's Thomas.
Ooh.
Thomas is a fun one, but there's so many. Like, are they going to include the ones where like Jesus got mad and killed a bunch of children and then like raised them from the dead?
I think
that would be great.
Because like I've seen the commercials and like the big thing was like Mary telling him he needed to control his powers, and Joseph going, how do we explain God to his son? Like, it was so dramatic and corny, and I just loved it.
Is somebody actually going to go with honesty in this? Well,
yeah,
that's
the commercial, I loved it. I mean, it's going to piss a lot of people off because most people haven't read that, and I mean, haven't read those young Jesus stories. And
they're all apocryphal, aren't they?
Yeah, all apocryphal. Like, most no people have read it, and it's like, and basically that's all skipped over. Nobody wants to talk about that, but I mean, that looks so corny.
So is this made for Christians, or
I have no idea.
Because if it's made for Christians, it won't be that controversial.
It will be corny though. Almost everything made for Christians is corny.
Yeah. But the non-canonical Gospels are like, I would go so far to say they're like more than apocryphal. Like, they're very heretical.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why they were left out of the Bible.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I do. My degree's in religious studies, which doesn't make any sense, but
makes perfect sense to me. If you live in the Bible Belt, you have to know that crap, even if you're not a religious studies major.
I came into college wanting to be a missionary. Fun fact.
That's not that surprising either.
And then the devil turned her out, and now she's a hooker for Satan.
It's called knowledge.
I'm a hooker for Satan?
Hooker for Satan.
Hey, at least you were trying to expand your knowledge. My path to atheism started with me trying to get laid, so...
Oh, I can respect that.
The vagina is the pathway to Satan.
I've always been this way. That.
Yeah, it will. That's why they wouldn't allow us to get within 6 inches of girls at school. That's not a joke.
I've always been this way. My mom stopped taking me to church because I kept questioning the preacher too much.
That's a good way to become an atheist.
I know, that's why I'm halfway there.
Just give you a couple years.
Well, soon you'll become part of the dark side. We have cookies.
Hey, I didn't adopt the label till I was 28.
Which was at least 20 years ago.
Fuck you, Ricky.
I mean, technically, I'm an agnostic atheist because I don't know. Because that's all agnostic means, is you're not certain.
I truly am, too.
most atheists you meet are going to, when pushed, say that they're an agnostic atheist. I don't think I know of any that would sit there and define themselves as a Gnostic atheist.
Maybe like on Pathio, the friendly atheist, Hemet Meta, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I think maybe him, but like he sold his soul on eBay, so.
Well, who bought it? Because if he sold it to a Christian, doesn't that mean he has to be a Christian?
I don't know. I think they just like took possession of it.
That's like a new age Dr. Faustus, man.
That'd be so awesome.
To all you literary students out there who know it, I mean, thumbs up to you.
Hey, I'm not a literary student, but I know the story. That's a rather famous story.
It's true.
Which one?
Dr. Faustus.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I'm gonna use my babiness.
I don't know. Basically, God sells his soul to the devil for things and what? Not was it knowledge? It was knowledge, and
knowledge and magic.
Yeah, and magic.
If you don't know the story, you probably know some story that is derived from it.
Like the movie Bedazzled, the terrible, terrible movie with Brendan Fraser.
Oh God, movie was terrible.
Yeah, that was awful.
I'm gonna show my anime nerdist by bringing up Shaman King.
Yeah, Shaman King. To all you goddamn nerds out there. But yeah,
I wish I remembered that it was a bad teen comedy movie where this teen guy got a free CD thing and made it into the contract so that if he wasn't happy with it, he could have his soul back. It was a terrible movie, but fun to watch on a Saturday when I was bored.
Dr. Faustus is the whole background for, not background, but like one of the most known Mississippi legends of all time, the Crossroads. Going down to the crossroads, sell your soul to the devil. It's based on Dr. Faustus and the whole, him selling his soul to the devil. Robert Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, that type of thing.
Oh, how dare Mississippi have a whole blues, all of our blues be based down on selling our soul to the devil and the Bible Belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gosh,
Mississippi is the most religious state in the country. Yet
the thing we're proud to say.
Our greatest legend, like our greatest myth in Mississippi, is the Crossroads, where the devil himself will appear out and buy your soul. Why is he even allowed?
No, it's because we're so Christian. We believe the soul has so much power that the devil can buy it.
Yeah, but why is he even here? We supposed to be like all Christian and shit.
If I wasn't the devil, I would never come to Mississippi ever.
The devil wants to tempt the best Christians so that they can be like better ambassadors for Satan.
They can go.
He doesn't need to tempt the atheists. The atheists are already going to hell.
Yeah.
And the Christians they're already missionaries, so if he gets them over, they can missionary for him. They already have the experience. It's like getting somebody who was like a manager at Domino's to come work at Pizza Hut.
Like, that's one of my things my family, like some of my old friends have gotten mad about is because they say, like, I'm a horribly effective missionary for atheism.
You taught me everything I know.
No, when I was a Christian, like, I'm a great Christian when I'm a Christian. Like, I helped convert people. I helped, how I tend to live my life. I was super convincing for people. And now that, like, I'm an atheist, it's the same thing, but in the reverse. So now it's like, oh, you're a warrior for Christ, and now you're destroying everything you built.
I wonder on some level, does people believe that the reason why Mississippi is, like, the poorest state is because we're such good Christians that we didn't fall into the devil's trap and become rich?
I mean,
a rich man can't get through. Can't get to heaven, right?
Well, here's the thing: at one point, Mississippi was rich. Like that's the whole point. That's why they're all. And this is going to tie to what we're about to talk about to finally get into it. Ties back to Confederacy when Mississippi was rich on slave blood and money and that shit and cotton.
Well, the only reason they were rich then is because black people didn't count as people, so they couldn't count as poor.
Exactly. Which brings us to another subject I needed to talk about, and this is a subject that Holly has been very vocal about, and the two black people have definitely been vocal about it. So, our good Governor Phil Bryant of Mississippi, God bless him, white Jesus bless him, has anointed, I'm going to go with anointed, April, it's like April, right?
It is
Yeah, it's April.
April anointed April as Confederate History Month in Mississippi.
And he can only do this in Mississippi because it's the only power he has.
And before we even go on into it, what the actual fuck? Silence draws over the crowd.
Can it just be a month-long apology?
Oh, okay. First of all, I got an issue, and this is a petty fucking issue, but I'm gonna bring it out first. How the hell you gonna make April Confederate History Month with 30 days, and Black History Month is 28? We got one extra day this year. You gonna get a Confederate support?
Huh? Like, he's not the one who made Black History Month February. Like, that ain't his fault.
But they gave him the honor of announcing it.
Would you rather him have made Confederate History Month overlap with Black History Month? Is that what you would prefer?
No,
that's what they did with Robert E. Lee and Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, yeah.
That was done very purposefully.
Yeah, no, and
yes, it was. So was the Confederate History Heritage Month.
I also feel like every day in Mississippi is a Confederate History Day. Yeah. So why?
Every day.
Oh.
We drove for 2 hours today from my hometown back up to here where I am, and every couple feet there were just Confederate flags everywhere, and I'm just like, what the hell? I mean,
don't stop for gas.
Oh my God. We live here. We live here, guys. We're black and we live here.
Well, you know what the saying is: if you don't like it, just
you
go
get
out.
Yeah.
As soon as I can afford to, I will. Don't worry.
We tried. It was called the Great Migration, 1927. Yeah. We tried to get out, and most of us couldn't because you motherfuckers are crazy.
Don't trust white people. Don't you know that?
I know. That's what I've been living my whole life by that.
We can't label all white people like that.
No, I mean, we got two good ones here, but they're like
What are you talking about, Dasha? I don't trust myself.
Yeah, he don't trust the white part. Look at him. He's shifty. Devin don't trust Holly.
I'm trustworthy.
Mm-hmm. Look at her.
Exactly what something that somebody who's untrustworthy would say.
Sounds like something a white person would say.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, don't trust white. No.
Well, no. See, I've talked about this before, but I use my white privilege for good. I'm like a white privilege vigilante.
You're Batman.
I am.
Batman's superpower is white privilege.
True.
I had something published in the Jackson Free Press that I wrote about chaining Mississippi to its despicable past.
Anybody listen to this? Go look it up.
It's actually really well written.
Very, very well written.
Thank you.
That's a
if
nice
you can
plug
include
there.
A link or something in the description. I don't know how you do that.
I'll take care of it.
You copy and paste the link and put it in the description.
Shut up, JJ. This is not a technical podcast. But go.
I wrote that, and I got a lot of great responses. Because I mean, to be perfectly honest, I was really just pissed off. Because he's been doing this every year since either 2012 or 2013.
I think it's 2013.
2013. I think that's what I put in the article, so I hope it's right. Confederate History Month, has always been April, and it's just I don't need to remember the Confederacy. I am haunted by it. I go to Ole Miss. Great, we have a statue of James Meredith, but there is no way for me to forget that horrible dead country. I can't. How do they ever expect me to? Why do I need to remember it? And there's a guy that I met, he found me somehow, and in April we're going to do a series every Monday where we write about why the Confederacy is even worse than you thought it was.
Well, I'm all for people remembering it, but I don't want them to remember positive light. They owned people, and that was the reason they were fighting a war, so they could stay owning people.
I mean, as I've said 1,000 times, and in comparison, the Nazis don't have not the Nazis. The Germans don't have a Nazi History Month.
Nazism is banned in Germany.
Yeah,
And up until 2 years ago, it was still legal to own people. Because
In
we
Mississippi.
forgot. Yeah, because we forgot.
Good excuse, by the way.
Yes, we forgot.
Yeah. Like the same thing. Like we didn't ratify the 19th Amendment until we had a female lieutenant governor. Like,
and the only reason they went ahead and put slavery on the I can't talk. Only reason they finally put it on the books in Mississippi.
Because people got outraged from 12 years
Yeah,
of slave.
12 years of slave had just come out. Django Unchained had just come out. They got scared. Jamie Foxx came and just scared the hell out of some people.
They're afraid all them
the
black
blackest
people are going to get mad.
Mississippi what?
Isn't Mississippi the blackest state?
Yeah, almost 50%.
It's either Mississippi or Alabama.
No, it's Mississippi.
Is it?
It's Mississippi.
I don't think 50% is right. I thought it was like 35.
It was like 46. I shit you not. It was like 46%.
Now you got the internet. You fact check. I'm on the road or I do it. I'm in North Carolina. I am by Cracker Barrel on the interstate in North Carolina. So y'all do it. I don't have to do anything.
She's escaping, guys.
Crackle Barrel.
She's almost out.
But yeah. But no, it's just crazy why. I mean, first of all, and I will say it is true that we are the largest black populated state. That is Confederate history month is a slap in the face. Like I
also feel like we have no voice here for us to have so many black people.
Oh yeah, we don't have a voice
like
here.
Our vote does not count as much as it should.
If
that was the case, this state should not be Republican every time.
Well, you have to worry about gerrymandering too.
Okay,
a generous portion of those black people are in the Delta, which only has one congressional representative.
Right. Just to drop in here, Holly was right. It's 37% African American, which is still a huge portion of the population.
I'm always right.
But what I was right about was I just got the numbers switched around. Jackson Metro is 48% African American.
It's got the second highest black population of any city in the country behind Detroit.
Yes. And
I think I'm looking at the same page you are.
Yeah, Mississippi has the highest. Also has it's 55%. Like Mississippi's homeowners are 55. Black people are 55% of Mississippi's homeowners. So
really,
yes. So
that's more surprising, actually.
Yeah, the majority of the homeowners in Mississippi are black.
Huh.
Don't tell that to white people.
Yeah.
You know how
No. White people would be happy, so they could use it as an excuse of, oh, see, they own more houses than us. That's the government paying for all their stuff.
Yeah, because it's the government paying for all
our
stuff.
Then we can just bring up the fact that white people get the most welfare.
I brought that up one time with someone who I got in an argument with, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, they really should be somebody checking into all these welfare stuff. And I'm like, it's really, really bad and stuff. It's mostly bad in Alabama and some, trailer park neighborhoods and stuff.
I was like, if you really want to have a talk about welfare and stuff, where's my goddamn 40 acres and a mule?
You know what I can do with 40 acres and a mule?
You know what I'm saying? You can do with 40 acres and a mule? Shit. That's some, especially in Mississippi, that's good land. Hell.
What's sad is I would name my mule Pablo.
And she's talking about how this is why we can't get 40 acres and a mule.
What?
Because she's over here talking about, like, I'm excited about 40 acres and getting money. She's just like, I'm going to name my mule Pablo. Jackass. Oh my gosh. But exactly, like, so many African Americans should be a powerhouse in this state. Should be a absolute powerhouse.
But I also have to say
nothing.
But I also have to say that some African Americans set other African Americans to take a fall.
Because in Mississippi, the rules have been set a long time ago, and no one. Oh well, sorry, not no one, because there are some out there who want to change, but most are not willing to go against status quo. I mean, it's a problem in all the South. The thing about the South is they love the past. they want things to go back to the past because the past was to them was so good, and they don't want things to change. Change is scary. They don't want anything new. So even the black people here, they will willingly accept the fact that they're not politically powerful. They're not going to come out of poverty. They're not going to have a chance for better lives because that's the way things are. If you went against that, then it's not right. You're going against tradition. You're going against family. You're going against everything that's around you.
And you're going to get hurt.
And you're going to get hurt. Because, and that's another thing. That's the second thing. Fear. Because they don't want to, like, most people won't admit it. Like, no one's going to say, I'm afraid of a white, like, no black person down here is going to say, I'm afraid of a white person. But when it comes down to it, when you start getting louder, start getting more against the natural state of things, it becomes, you need to stop because they are going to hurt you. Something's going to happen to you. I mean,
well, that's because your parents worry about you, and they grew up in a time where you really might be killed.
Exactly. I mean,
and I can understand why they feel that way, but nothing ever changes unless somebody's
exactly.
going to raise their voice.
Yeah. That is the far-reaching effect of the fear-based tactics of back then, and even now, they're still teaching your children that. I mean, you're still teaching them that fear, and of course, they're never going to be successful with that because even success is going against the status quo. I mean, when you live in a world where black people were successful, they get strung up for being successful in the past.
Like Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
I think it was a town in Oklahoma, wasn't it?
Yep, completely.
Go
ahead.
Entire black population, everyone was being all successful, and the poor white people around it got envious and went in there and destroyed the whole town.
Razed it to the ground. I mean, that stuff is not... that was not a long time ago comparatively, but that was a long time ago. But that type of fear stays. It sticks. And it holds you back. I mean, like Holly, I used to write for the DM, and I used to get stuff all the time, especially back home. My mom was really proud of my writing. My mom and my sisters were proud of my writing, and my mom used to share it all the time. And there was a local black preacher came to her and told her that to tell her son that he needed to stop, that he should stop writing, talking about me, of course, because if he didn't stop, they were going to come for him. And of course, my mom was proud. My mom just like, dude, go on about your business. But I mean, that's crazy to think that your own community can't even support someone who's, trying because of fear. I mean, I'm sure you had the best.
And I've always been.
Go ahead.
I've been like keenly aware since I've started writing that I'm able to shine light on issues without fear that other people couldn't.
Right.
That's why, I talk about using my white privilege for good. Because, I can talk about certain things being racist, or I can talk about certain things just being unacceptable, and they can't dismiss me because Mississippi still has that sort of cult of the white woman. So, I can't remember a time I've ever feared for myself unless I've been in a room like exclusively men.
Exactly.
Right. I've never just been scared. Like I've gotten lost in South Jackson and I asked for directions.
And see, I've actually gotten on. This is one of the proudest accomplishments of my life because I'm just that much of an asshole. But I got on what I was told was the local Klan's blacklist with air quotes and everything. And of course, I got threats and all that stuff. And there was even a point where someone bumped into me and said, "Here, take this," and it was a Ku Klux Klan card. And first of all, I didn't know racists had. I didn't know the Klan members had business cards to give out. But I guess this man was trying to make a good statement, apparently. So he gave me the card and showed it to my friends, and they were just like, "Okay, it's time to go." These were like my friends were around me were white at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, it's time to go because we ain't have to put up with this shit." But no, like I've had people come to my house, come to my apartment, all kind of shit.
Oh, I remember the first time I realized just how bad things were in Mississippi. Because growing up here in Oxford, things are a lot better in Oxford than they are in many other parts of the states. But my parents got divorced, and my mom moved out to the bumfuck Mississippi. And my sister and I went to this salvage grocery store, and this old white man was running the register. He apparently ran the store. And there was this black family in line ahead of us. And after they went up, or after they had gone out, he complained about them niggers always coming in his store. To which I didn't really say anything at the time, but I was thinking, without them niggers, you wouldn't even have a store. Do you not know what this population around you looks like?
Yeah, that's the horrible thing about it. They don't give an absolute shit. They could be surrounded. They could be surrounded by the darkest of all the darkies. And not be afraid of anything. Like, go ahead.
The only time I got called out of my name, only time I ever got called a nigga, was in Oxford, twice. And both times I was delivering pizza to someone's house.
Because even the person that brings you your food and I wouldn't mess with anybody who brings you your food. They could poison you.
I know.
And knowing Dasha, she probably did.
I don't poison people.
Allegedly. But yeah, no, they don't care.
Wait, she allegedly doesn't poison people.
Yeah, no. Okay. We go. The police, FBI who are listening, Dasha Death has never killed anyone. Yeah.
I have not killed anybody. Stop saying that.
Okay, got it.
A question that's not about poisoning. So this is my I'm going to use my baby white ignorance here. So when do you use the word black and when do you use the word African American? Because I just wing it.
It depends on who you're talking to. Personally, I don't use African American as much just because I don't feel like that adequately describes black Americans. Because an African American is someone who's African and American. Like, we are not African. Most of
immigrated
us
from Africa
exactly.
and got nationalized.
Most of us aren't African and American. We're black. Like, we were born here. What we know is America. And the only real denigration is our American ethnic identity, which has, of course, great African qualities, but it's not African. It's black American.
Oh, but it's never okay to say colored unless you're like...
Oh.
Oh, no, they still got that bad down here.
No. I've been called that at my job.
In the past 2 weeks, by the way.
But she's really, really old. Like, she maybe remembered when that was still okay. So I just let it go because I'm not about to hit an old lady.
I will say...
I think...
Go ahead.
In my experience, either black or African American are fine as long as you're not using it in a denigrating fashion.
Right. Because most people will just say black folks or African American. Usually, most people will use African American when you're talking in a more, I guess,
like official setting,
a more official
like
setting.
More
yeah, that would be
more. I'm writing my thesis right now, and I don't know if I've told you, I'm writing about how white women in the South and black women in the South use their religion differently. So white women used it to mostly maintain the status quo while getting some benefits for themselves, and how black women never had that option. Mm-hmm. But I'm constantly using the word the black community and black women. It's I feel weird doing it because it's I don't want to, as a writer, I don't want to put African American women just because I don't like how it sits in most sentences. But it feels weird. I'm trying to be especially sensitive as I write all these things because I am writing it as a white woman in the modern South,
right.
Trying to use my modern ideas on these women in the civil rights era, and I have no way for me to understand how hard everything was.
Right.
Well, I think that the very fact that you care and are putting this much thought into it means it'll probably come across that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're good. I'll tell you guys something though. I'll tell you a word that I use that no one else uses, but I use it all the time. And people get kind of funky with it. I use Negro all the time. Just straight up these Negroes, man, or what's up, Negro? Like, not even. I will use it just in the term for black, like the like my fellow Negroes. Like, I don't know what, I just like it. I do, because it sounds so like. It's just gonna sound weird. It sounds just. People don't know what to do with it, and I like saying it because people don't know what to do with the word Negro.
You like the privilege getting to say that word because other people don't get to say it.
Yeah, but it's not like not like pardon me, nigga. Like nigga, term of endearment in the black community, blah blah blah. Black people say nigga all the time. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga that. It's not the same. Like Negro sounds like more official, but it still like makes people feel weird. And I'm an asshole.
My best friend's grandmother, she calls black people nigras because she used to. She recently passed, but like she thinks that's like the term you're supposed to use.
Yeah, no, that was like, the term they used back in the day. Like that was the official term, the nigras.
No one updated her.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these old white people down here still use, like niggas, because like that's what we've been calling them since we were kids. Like, we didn't have a problem with them. They called themselves niggers. We called them niggers. Everybody was a nigger that day.
Okay, I have a story that's slightly related to subject, but slightly off. Growing up, I did not know I was black until I moved to Mississippi. Like, it was not pointed out to me. But at the same time, I was raised in an army base, which all the parents were of different ethnicity, so you don't know who's who. So I growing up, thought that when you had a child, you got to choose their color.
Okay, and oh my God, she was also not a bright child on that one.
I was. It's just that until I got to Mississippi, and the kids kind of started pointing it out to me, like, oh, they told me my mother was white because she was light skinned, and then they told me I was black and that I was an interracial child, and I'm like, no.
See, okay, and here's the thing about and I will discuss with what Samantha was saying. Here's the thing about being a black person in America. At some point, no matter where you are in this country, if you're a black person, no child knows the difference between black, white, or whatever. They just know humans. That's it.
And then it's taught to you.
And then it's taught. And there comes a point in every black child's life where they have the realization that they're black. And that means something different than being white or being anything else. Like, you eventually have the realization that there's a stigma on being black. That there is a difference.
My dad is still trying to instill that in me, and I still keep trying to fight it.
And like in Mississippi, you learn it a lot sooner, just because of the environment it's in. But if you like in other places, you don't learn it as soon. Like she was on a military base, and of course, in the military with mixed race of people, and just the military structure, the way it was then and is now, that's not something that's going to come up as much for a child. It just really isn't. But once you're out of that environment somewhere else, it's going to come up. I mean, having to know that at some point one of your friends, you can't go play with one of your friends because their father is racist or prejudiced. Like that happens. It's going to happen.
I wasn't allowed to have black Barbies.
You weren't allowed to have black Barbies?
Mm-mm. My dad didn't like it. He's not even from the South. He's from Colorado. But my mom had to sneak and buy me one, and we had to keep it in her underwear drawer.
That's insane. Because black Barbie don't even look black. Black Barbie just regular Barbie with a brown paint job.
She's got a really dark tan.
Yeah, like she like black Barbie is just Ted and Booth on extra
Royal.
crispy. Yeah.
Yes. And I remember my next door neighbor, she was German. And all I knew was that her food did not taste as good as my mom's. That's it.
You can taste the German. What did it taste like?
Well, to be fair to your neighbor, you're always going to enjoy your mother's cooking more than
she had
somebody else's.
She had sweets that looked delicious. But as soon as I took a bite, it did not taste delicious.
Well, I mean, you got to watch out, especially when it comes to Germans and ovens.
Oh my God, really?
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I resent that.
I'm sorry, Cookie Monster.
Dude.
Oh my gosh, we're over an hour in. This is fun. But yeah.
I have a story about my cousin. Well,
Oh,
my
Lord.
my best friend. So okay, it's related. So my best friend's a teacher in a town in South Mississippi, and there's like I think it's about half and half in that town. And one of her students is like he's a dark skinned black guy, and he like just says all this crazy shit that like it's hilarious, but I'm sure like she and I are missing some of the context. So it's like to us it just seems funny. But he'll say shit like everyone under 5 foot's an abomination, and all light skinned black people are devils. And then
Oh wow.
and he'll like there's a light skinned black kid in his class named Nico. He's like, hey, Miss Teacher, did you know that Nico killed JFK? Like, what? What does that even mean?
See, yeah,
he didn't kill
yeah,
JFK. He was
of course.
alive.
Yeah, and of course the white girl doesn't quite get that because, I mean, as fucked up as it is, man, there is such a rivalry between dark skinned black people and light skinned black people that goes way back to slavery and masters and all that shit. But that lives on.
For people who don't know, I'm light-skinned dark. I'm a light-skinned black person.
And I'm much more light skinned black person.
But my great-grandmother did not like me because of my skin color. And my grandfather loved me because of my skin color. And to this day, this is instilled in all black people that hope their kids aren't dark-skinned because apparently it's some way throwback to slavery days because dark-skinned people worked in the fields and light-skinned people worked in the house.
And of course, also light skinned is closer to white. Just to be honest, I mean, the closer you are to whiteness, the closer you are to being better. I mean, whiteness is next to godliness.
At what
Plus, if
point
their
do you
skin is
become
lighter,
dark
they
skinned?
can-
Like, what's the line?
What?
What point?
That's this again. I'm using my white ignorance. Like when I see if I see a group of black people, like I could I understand that some of them are lighter than others, but at what point do you become like dark skinned?
Okay. Because there's a
There's
weird,
like this chart, like on Family Guy.
basically, it's almost like I'm like the chart from Family Guy. Honestly, Samantha, sorry,
I'm right there in the line.
Dasha, her skin color's around the line. So if you're brown, like brown is like normal, like good, nice. You've been baked in the oven.
Just right.
Brown. That's usually good.
Oh, by standards, just right.
Yeah. If you're like peanut butter colored and back, you light skinned. If you a little over medium brown,
Chocolate pudding or
chocolate pudding it up, you dark skinned. And then you got those like charcoal. I don't know if you a person or a shadow people, but that's basically the demographic. And then you have Prince on the
Where
far
their
end.
ancestors were right on the equator.
Yeah, no, the ancestors were right on the sun.
Okay, I'm gonna dip out. Okay, guys. I'll talk
All
to
right.
you next week.
So Samantha's dipping out on us. But yeah, we just lost our resident darky. But yeah, that's really it. And the ones in the middle depends on the day, but claiming what side of the dark light feud. It's like the black version of West Side Story.
Oh, I had a racist moment today.
Oh Lord.
I did. So we were at a rest area in North Carolina, and I was sitting there waiting for my roommate to get out so we could get back in the car. And this black woman walks in with this like real light baby, and I was like, "Where'd she get that baby from?" Did not even for a moment consider it could be her baby. And then like her white husband walks in, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a horrible racist person."
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
a little
that's
bit.
my racist today. Yeah, I didn't
Racism.
even like. I was like, whose baby is she borrowing? Like, didn't even like what? How do you even get that?
I need to call the police because apparently she stole that baby.
Oh no, I was just gonna let her take it. But
that might be worse. Like, she may have kidnapped that baby, but nah, I'm gonna let her keep it. She worked for it.
It's worse than that. I didn't really think that she would kidnap it. I thought she was just like helping take care of the baby.
Oh wow, so she was a servant.
It gets worse. Oh yeah, of course she's the help. I'm a racist white woman.
Disclaimer.
There was a
disclaimer: the members of this podcast do not share the views and opinion of Holly.
There was a moment at my niece's birthday party last week. My stepfather was over for her birthday party, and our neighbor was walking down the street, who's my friend, and he's a black guy, and my stepfather saw him walking and asked, "Who's that?" And I'm thinking, oh, please don't let him say anything. I really don't want to have to go off on him for saying something to my friend. Because when I go to visit his house, I just generally ignore what he says, because his house, he can say what he wants. But he wasn't at his house. He was at my house. And my friends can feel comfortable in my house.
Oh my gosh! See, that's something I won't like. I won't have to never have to deal with, like having to go. Man, I don't know if my relatives is gonna say something racist.
And that's just like daily life.
To be fair to most of my family, almost all of them would not be racist. I mean, when I was little, my best friend was black, and he would sleep on our floor almost every weekend after he and I passed out in the living room playing Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo, that's how old I am.
Hey, people still make Nintendos now.
I have a Nintendo not 5 feet from where I'm sitting.
Hey, I got one too. So not that old. Nintendos were still going when I was a kid.
Yeah, because you're not that far away from me in age difference.
Now, Holly,
the first Nintendo product I ever owned was the original DS.
Oh no, I was like a teenager. and
You
JJ,
graduated. Like, Rakeem graduated college before I graduated high school.
and
So,
and JJ was
Shut
already what?
I was already in
oh.
high school when she was born.
I can make you feel good. Are you ready? I was
Okay.
born the day after Kurt Cobain died.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, you're not
your-
like that old.
I'm just underneath being into Nirvana when they were out. I enjoyed their music, but it didn't come upon me until years later.
You missed opportunity, JJ. Missed opportunity.
I know, I fit right into that music style, don't I?
Yep. Just long-haired, grungy dude.
Fuck you too, Rakeem.
Yeah, fuck you. Bunch of damn hipsters.
I don't
Next
think
week we're gonna play Game of Thrones, damn it.
On the podcast, we're gonna have a Game of Thrones podcast.
Yes.
No, fuck
Just
you.
so I can destroy you.
What were you saying, Holly?
That'll be the sole objective. Kill Rakeem. Oh.
What were you saying, Holly?
Oh, I don't remember.
Shut up, JJ. Shut up with the Game of Thrones. Stop it. And by the way,
Sorry, some of us actually like good TV shows.
wait, hold on, guys, you heard him.
haven't
You
watched
heard him. He said the objective will be to kill you, Rakeem. He heard the white man is threatening to kill the black man.
Hey now, that's the objective my sister has playing any game against me. She doesn't care if she wins as long as I lose.
But you're not black. You're not black. I cried. That's how I wake up every morning.
Crying that I'm not black?
I wake up crying that I'm black and in America. Damn it. And then I go, fuck this. I'm black in America. Fuck these guys.
Like, where would you go? Like, where would it be better? Like,
I know-
that's not a sarcastic question.
That's the problem. This is it. This is the peak.
I'd imagine Britain might be better.
It's not.
I wouldn't know, really. I'm just guessing.
I mean,
based on how they're depicted on TV.
They just got racist with a different accent.
Well, yeah. They have
Like-
the BNP.
Like it's just a little more classy when they say it.
Their poor accent sounds a lot better than our poor accent.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
Dude, I'd rather sound like a hick than Cockney.
There's not too much of a
I think-
difference.
See, there's different kinds of Southern accent.
I think I'm like the only person on the podcast that like has a like super discernible Southern accent. And I don't like it, but I can't do anything about it.
Well, JJ spent time as a Yank anyway, so
Ew.
I was born there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a damn carpetbagger.
See, like, despite everything I hate about the South, like, so much of my identity is rooted in the fact that I'm Southern. So it's, like, really conflicting. Like, I subvert almost everything, like, you're supposed to do in the South, but, like, I eat grits by the bowl, and I write poems with the first lines, like, she says my pussy tastes like collard greens. So, I don't...
You're trying to drag the rest of the South into the 21st century.
I'm hungry, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's...
With the passage of the 14th Amendment, I think we can give him credit for at least being in the 20th century.
Yeah.
We're making it.
I had Dreamland ribs for lunch. Y'all know what Dreamland is? It's this fine ass barbecue joint. It's like they got several of them in Alabama, and so I don't know if y'all know. Like I'm slowly going vegan, so I'm saying these like final meals to various animals that I'm no longer consuming.
Traitor.
So that was my goodbye to pork, and oh my god, like oh Jesus, so good.
Almost makes her a theist.
Yeah, she almost
Right?
the ribs almost made a Christian again.
No, I got really drunk on Friday, and I started crying about how I wish Jesus was real. Because I was having a hard time, and I needed someone in my corner.
Well, Jesus seems to be kind of a dick, though. He doesn't really help people.
Like, he heals the blind and stuff.
Let starving kids in Africa not have food.
No, Jesus wasn't in Africa. He's in the Middle East. He's busy being a person. We're going to stick with that Jesus.
Oh, okay.
And we'll
Not
use...
the one who's actually God?
Yeah. We'll use the bad apologetic answer that evil doesn't exist because... Like, evil exists because they have an absence of God, and if they, like, loved God more, there wouldn't be bad things. Very prosperity gospel-ish.
Which explains Joel Osteen.
I wrote my religious capstone paper on how megachurches manipulate their sensory environment to produce religious experiences, and I got to write about Joel Osteen, and it was so great.
It was so great, but you sound like you were nauseated reading about him.
No, I mean, like, Joel Osteen is fascinating. And, like, his whole, like, I mean, just prosperity gospel in general, man. It's just, like, you convince poor people to give you your money because, it's evil. It's brilliant, but it's evil.
Yeah. As long as you have no morals, it's great.
Hey, God needs that money. Okay?
Why? You don't know, he just does?
Joel
Why does
Osteen,
God need a spaceship?
Yeah, like...
He has a $40 million house. Like, unless God is living in the basement,
God needs Joel to have that money. He's his messenger. You don't understand, okay? He's a prophet. He needs to make a profit. I mean...
You're right, I don't understand.
This is why you people are atheists. You just don't believe. Okay?
that's the whole,
Yeah, that's kind of what the word means.
Yeah, that's real of it. Good job.
You don't have faith.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
You hit the nail on the head.
It's the definition right here. I mean,
Bingo.
Webster states, man. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. We're gonna have to get some religious people on the show to talk to.
Well, only if it's not like I don't want to gang up on anyone. Like,
Yeah, that'd be really unfair.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if we do have religious people on the show at some point, it needs to be a respectful conversation, because if we just attack them, that doesn't like make our side look any better.
I'm sure it will start out very respectful.
It needs to end very respectful. If you can't end it respectfully, then there's no point in starting it.
Look, I can't say what's going to happen in the middle.
This is the Holly Bear kindness thing coming out, where, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there's any point in bringing someone on just to deliberately, like, if they're willing to, like, have their views challenged and attempt to challenge ours, that's fine. I just don't want, like, I can't participate in a screaming match.
Well, okay, here's the issue. I won't bring on anybody just to attack them, and that's just crazy. But I'm pretty sure I'll find somebody that will say they're ready for, you know, ready to defend their, you know, ready to stick up and be respectful and stuff. But I don't know how most people don't stick to that. Even on both sides, most people don't stick to it. That's just
the question of whether or not they're actually going to be able to handle their beliefs challenged, or, to be fair, any of us. Which I think I have enough practice at it. I think I can handle it.
I mean, I can definitely handle staying respectful. I'm not. That sounds awful. I'm not worried about me being nice.
Well, since they'll be invited here, I will apply my other people's posts on Facebook mentality and not be mean.
I'm what you would sort of call like a diplomatic atheist. I feel like there's no... Like, unless you act in kindness towards people who you disagree with, like, there's no chance they're going to change their mind. Like, Rakeem and I have gotten into this when we talk about, like, protests, like passive protests and all this kind of stuff. But I don't think there's any way to yell someone into a changed opinion. Like, it doesn't work. That changes. I mean, that may get them to be quiet for a moment, but it doesn't actually change their mind or their heart.
I think it depends on the person. More often than not, that won't be the case, but every now and then you'll find somebody that it takes a real kick in the teeth like that to get them to actually start looking, and then they'll start to question, because they'll want to come back at you. But I think, let's see, Phone's actually done a rather good video that I enjoyed on it on YouTube. How we need all the voices, the angry and the kind, because you never know exactly how one particular argument on the right day is just going to hit them, and then they're going to follow the Satan's path.
Satan's path. Man, Satan always has. He has too many ways. I mean, that guy never gives up. I don't know how to not follow Satan's path. There's just so many ways to it. It's almost like he's some kind of scapegoat.
That's just your book learning talking. You know, he gave you knowledge.
You know what's funny?
It was all Satan.
Like random biblical information. That's the complete reason why Lucifer is depicted as a goat man. He's quite literally a scapegoat.
Yeah.
For the listeners who don't know about their random religion trivia. But guys, we're probably gonna
bullshit on that one.
What?
I'll look it up for next time, but I don't think you're right on that one.
Seriously, JJ, back me up on this.
It's partially it, but it's also some of that influence comes from Pan.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Other pagan deities.
Yeah,
but I imagine it does come from the Jewish tradition of what do they do with the goat, where they put all the sins of the community on the goat and then send it out into the wilderness to die.
I mean, Jesus.
The concept of Satan get introduced into Judaism until the Babylonian exile. So I feel like, I mean, I'll look into it and we can like argue about it later. But I don't think that's.
Well, I mean, the modern depiction of Satan came. I mean, Lucifer came way after that anyway. Even way after Babylon. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Like the retroactive Azazel. You know, if that means anything. You got me, Holly. You got me.
Hey, I mean, always.
Which is funny because, like, Jesus is also the scapegoat. Like, he is the goat in which all the sins of humanity is placed upon and sacrificed.
Except he's the escaped lamb.
Yeah, escaped lamb, lamb of God.
Oh, it's same type of animal. Same family
type of animal.
Yeah, just whatever. Also, he's a lamb. Is it because he's white? Praise white Jesus.
So that's where the justification for making him look white in all medieval artwork
that makes so much sense. He's not white because he's Caucasian. He's white because he's a lamb.
I have a book on that about the color of Christ. I should lend it to you sometime.
I'm pretty sure that would be an excellent read. Excellent.
Have you ever seen the Asian depictions of Jesus?
I have.
There's Korean Jesus? Man.
I don't know about Korean, but I've seen Chinese depictions, and I think Japanese depictions of Jesus.
There's a lot of these depictions.
Well, I mean,
apparently,
if there's Chinese Jesus and the Japanese Jesus, it's got to be Jewish Jesus. I mean, Korean Jesus. What am I saying?
I got
of course there's Jewish Jesus.
About Jewish Jesus. They call him Yeshua?
Yeah, Yeshua. Yeshua ben Yosef. Basically Joshua, son of Joseph.
Oh, my brother absolutely loved the fact that I told him that the direct translation of Yeshua is Joshua. My brother being an atheist, of course.
and being
named Joshua. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to explain to all the listeners that my brother's name is Joshua.
And now we know. Well, yeah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, I always bring that up to people. It's like if you're going with direct translations here, no one's in church yelling Joshua Christ. Praise Joshua. Praise Josh.
My brother would be unbearable to deal with then.
If I have a child, I'm gonna name it Jesus.
Oh, you're gonna lose so many family members for that. You're not Hispanic. You can't get away with that.
I'm already going down anyway.
As soon as they accept the fact that it's not just a phase you're going through.
Yeah, it's been a phase going on for some years now. Let's see what we covered. We've covered Trump. We've covered Mississippi. We've covered black people. Hey, and Jesus seemed like a pretty good show. I mean, we're at an hour and a half. It's probably about time to close it up. So,
like the plan to me.
all right, this has been episode 2 of the Angry Black Atheist podcast. As always, this is Rakeem. We have JJ, Holly, and Dasha, who has left us and gone into wherever. She may not come back. She may be gone forever. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back next week.
She vanished into the wilderness.
Yeah, I got a cliffhanger for you. Maybe she'll be back next week. Maybe she won't. Stay tuned to find out next time. All right. Y'all have a good night and see you soon.